Life is an open road, fill her up and foot to the floor. Life is a one-way street, there's no going back for more. Take the wheel and make the bends, watch the winds and mind the winds. You can't sleep at journey's end, save the backseat for your friend. It's too easy to overload, 'cause life is an open road.
Hey, welcome to the first episode of Just a Gypsy with Nick Russell. I'm Dave Dufour, and we have over my shoulder, as you can see, is editor, publisher, and raconteur, and I'm thinking chief bottle washer, paper folder, writer, etc. of the Gypsy Journal, Mr. Nick Russell. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Dave. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. You're sitting pretty down in Florida right now, correct? Whereabouts?
We are at the NACO campground, the Peace River campground in Wauchula, Florida.
Wauchula, that's about what? About halfway down the peninsula, sort of, kind of, on the Gulf Coast?
About halfway down the peninsula in the middle of the state, straight line east of Tampa.
Okay, so, and you were headed for the Keys at one point, but decided that the weather wasn't going to really go cooperate too well with you, correct?
It's been a cold winter here in Florida.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you are interested in cold weather, you can come right back here to Elkhart, Indiana, where you had your rally last summer, and find out what cold is. It was like, I think, well, it's not too bad today. Actually, it's around 30, which is just under freezing, but we were at about 23 degrees last night, which was no fun if you were out in that, and it's been close to zero a few times already, even in December. And technically, today is actually technically the first day of winter, I guess. So the solstice has hit. It's upon us. Nick is the editor, publisher, and I was kind of making some jokes, but I know that you do an awful lot of the jobs pertaining to the Gypsy Journal. But tell us, what's the Gypsy Journal exactly?
The Gypsy Journal is a bi-monthly newspaper that my wife and I publish, my wife Terry. We travel full-time in our motorhome. We are in our 13th year now of traveling full-time. And we cover the back roads and the small towns and kind of the oddball little attractions that a lot of people miss, and historical sites and that sort of thing.
But that's one of the joys of RVing, is actually discovering those quote-unquote undiscovered sections of the country that are not the tourist attractions. Disney World is a lot of fun, but you can't go there every day. And it seems to me that, I really enjoy those backwater types of places where you find the little diner or restaurant that happens to have the best apple pie you've ever tasted, and things like that. Areas where they just don't get promoted, and maybe should, but if they were promoted, they wouldn't be the same, would they?
Well, that's exactly it, and we always walk that fine line. We want to share it, but we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, and you really don't want to spoil it. Yeah, you do. Yeah, sharing it, but not sharing it with absolutely everyone in the world. So
it's kind of like having a secret fishing hole.
That's right. There you go.
You want to share it with your buddies, but you don't want them to do the same thing.
Perfect. Okay, so Gypsy. Now, I should backtrack a little bit. That Just a Gypsy revolves around our full timing, but not entirely. The show really revolves around the kind of lifestyle that you're enjoying, whether you're enjoying it full time or part time. And we're going to be talking about some great destinations, some tips for how to enjoy the RV lifestyle a little bit better and have more fun. And maybe, I don't know, is one of the tricks to RVing just don't expect too much. And I don't mean it in the sense of don't expect to enjoy it, but don't be in expectation that things are going to go exactly the way you want them to all the time. And that's kind of one of the fun aspects of RVing, I think, isn't it?
Well, that's it. We always tell people that our plans are set in jello.
Yes.
If you plan something and say we've got to go this and be there at a certain time, that's too much like work. So
right.
We've literally pulled up to intersections and said right or left. Do you want to go east or west? And that's
cool.
The great thing.
And you let a coin flip decide, or just whoever shouts
We've done that.
loudest,
Yes, we have done that actually.
Actually flipped a coin. Okay. And okay. So tell me your most famous coin flip. What would you like? Where you ended up in either Maine or California? Has it been that drastic?
We left Elkhart, Indiana one time. We were heading for Florida, and as we pulled out, we said, let's do something different. So we actually went through Wisconsin and through the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and back down before we actually got to Florida. So we kind of went 180 degrees in the other direction to get south.
Right. Well, okay. Now you record these and other adventures not only in the Gypsy Journal but also on a blog or a website, which is where?
I do a daily blog called Nick's blog. It's at gypsyjournal.net/blog.
Okay, gypsyjournal.net is that isn't really a duplication of the newspaper exactly, but it does contain similar content and probably obviously more timely since it's updated daily, right?
The blog is updated daily, yes. The actual gypsyjournal.net is our main website, and it's kind of just some of the different things that have been in the paper to give people an idea of what we're all about.
That's cool. Yeah, and Gypsy Journal is it's very interesting. You spend I don't know, you answer a lot of letters. I noticed in the newspaper. So that's you either give a lot of advice and people like it, or you just have an awful lot of curious people out there. Maybe it's a little bit of both.
Well, we've got about 15,000 readers, and so we get a lot of emails and a lot of comments on the blog and things like that. So we try to share what we know.
Right, and of course that's that's part of it's essentially it's part of your lifestyle at this point, is sharing what you know as you travel. Well, the other thing that we should bring up here before we go to a break is that you said you were in Elkhart, Indiana. Well, you're in Elkhart, Indiana fairly frequently because of connections here with the RV industry, but. You had a rally here last summer, correct?
Yes, we did. At Elkhart Campground at the end of August, we had a rally, and we had, 150, 160 RVs there. We pretty much filled the campground and had a good time. What's
the focus of that, basically? Is it good time, or is it education, or what is it?
Our rallies kind of walk a fine line between education and good time. We have a lot of seminars, everything from fire safety to geocaching to RV improvements and repairs and that sort of thing, RV driving lessons, clear into evening entertainment and fun stuff and things like that. So it's kind of a little bit of everything. So, and now you have another one coming up, right? We have another rally coming up in March in Arizona. We do 2 rallies a year, an Eastern and a Western. Right. And our Western rally will be March 7th to 11th in Yuma, Arizona. We'd like people to come out and join us and have some fun. Is that a larger group, or about the same, or how does that work out? No, it's larger. It runs anywhere from 250, 285, a number of rigs there. Okay, and you bring in some guest speakers and lots of guest speakers, yes. Right. Well, that's cool. So yeah, and that they can get information on that on your website. At gypsyjournal.net, correct? That's correct, and in the blog also. Oh. Normally during our rallies, we have 4 to 5 sessions of seminars per day, and during each session we'll have 5 or 6 different seminars going on. So there's a lot to choose from. All right. Also, there's a couple other ways that you can get in touch with the show and with Nick as well. You can email Nick here at rvnn.tv. Email Gypsy at rvnn.tv. You can also leave a voicemail. Just call 877-578-RVNN and go to extension 707. That'll take you right into Nick's voicemail, and you can ask questions, make suggestions for the show, and even just say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Send along some photos if you've got something interesting to share via the email address. You can also follow us, really the whole RV Newsnet, on Twitter and Facebook as well. So you have a lot of ways to keep in touch with us. This really is two-way TV, and I and Nick are going to both be interested in hearing what you have to say about the show. We're going to be We're going to be right back in just a few moments after a break, and we're going to be talking about a couple of interesting products that are great fun adjuncts to your life on the road. So stay with us. For more TV like this from the world of RVs, head to rvnn.tv.